this one, and I've done this with this one. It got more complicated because they were all involved in ministries. One of them in this ministry with this one in that ministry, and that one with this ministry, and this one. And so when the breakup came, it was very difficult because they would look at each other, and there was so much hurt and pain from the physical part. But I want to go on further and talk about what happens when you are having a counterfeit relationship emotionally with someone or spiritually with someone. Say, I never heard of that. Well, it actually can take place. So many couples who have never been involved sexually can have emotional affairs. And they can have a counterfeit emotional oneness. And that's what we're going to talk about, some of our counterfeit onenesses today. That will develop. How does it develop? An emotional counterfeit oneness can develop when you are emotionally involved with someone beyond what is required for that level of friendship. Now, do you remember you have to go back to the 4 levels of friendships that I taught you during our BGR? Okay? An acquaintance, casual friendship, intimate friendships. Okay, the different levels, which we will go over that when I give you a handout next week. So how do you know? Next slide. Then how do you know if you've been involved in a counterfeit oneness? How do you know? This is your answer. You can gauge the degree to which you have become one with another person by the intensity of the pain you feel after a breakup or a separation. So if it's very painful and you really can't take it, and you really hate them, or maybe there's some bitterness there, or you just cannot stand to even see their face, there has to be a reason for that. More than likely, you have had a counterfeit emotional relationship with them, or you have gone to a counterfeit oneness in the spirit that was not meant for you to share with just any person. In other words, what I'm proposing to you is there is a level of emotional oneness that only takes place with one man and one woman principle. In other words, God designed one man for one woman. So he doesn't expect you as a female in 2020 to be so close with every male in 2020 that you bear every emotional feeling you've ever had and every struggle you've had and every burden you've had and everything that's ever taken place to you. And you can get close to that guy and you could just kind of cry on their shoulder and really bond and they really understand you. It's supposed to be that happens when there's a oneness with the one person that you're going to marry. And if you have a real intensity of pain after this separation with an individual, then you know you've had a counterfeit oneness in an area that you were not supposed to have with them. Okay, so go to the next slide. Let's look at some of the levels of progression between a male and a female. And this will give you a little bit more understanding, all right? Let's view first the male view of dysfunctional dating. This is the male's view who's not a Christian. Some Christians, unfortunately, may think this way, but it's not a 2020 male view of dating, all right? This is dysfunctional. This is not the way we want it to happen within our 2020 group. The first thing that will happen with a male, normally, if they are a normal male, is they will strive for physical oneness. They will see the female, she will look good, and their lust or their sensual desires would be stirred up. Why? Because God put those in them. So that's why I say if it is a man who has normal manly desires, that lust will be stirred up, and their desire will be started. And because of their innate nature, God made them sexual, so that is something he put inside of them that they will want to satisfy. That's why you don't do it until you don't even want to do dating, because that desire is inside of you, and how to stop something that God put in you. How do you do that? Well, you are so bionic, you are so Superman, I guess, that you can control something that God actually put in you to happen. That is like not being realistic. God put it in you knowing that it would happen naturally. But he assumed you would have the ability and the intellect not to start it or activate it before it's the time to activate it. But here they start out with physical oneness. And they get that by compromising situations. So they take the girl out for a date. She looks so good. She smells so good. She's so cute. This usually doesn't happen that a guy takes an ugly, fat, smelly girl, and this does not happen, physical oneness. Why? They always go for somebody, usually, who will activate that. That's how you know you're approaching it wrong. First of all, if all of your motivation is because she's cute and she's attractive, then you have to say, why am I focusing on that? Not that I think you're going to have to look for the ugly girl. I don't think that's what you're going to wake up going, oh, I'm looking for an ugly girl today. No, but you have to balance out. You have to say, I cannot put all of that and my focus be only on that. Otherwise, my focus is not a balanced focus. They go from that, a guy, to emotional oneness. After they're with a girl and they usually are physical or get very intimate with them, then they will open up their emotions. But a guy doesn't usually come up to a girl and start out with emotional oneness. Oh, bare your heart to me. Tell me all your struggles. Talk, 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 talk. I want to hear it all. That's not usually a guy. A guy usually really connects with that because he's forced to. He doesn't start there. Like, tell me what your struggles are. Tell me how it is at home. Tell me about what happened to you yesterday. No, that usually comes after. Then they go to a committed relationship because they are so far into it. They've gotten physical, then they've gotten emotional with the person, listened to them, they've opened up, they care about what's happening to them, then they commit. Then comes, if it happens at all, then the oneness of spirit would actually take place. But that is so far removed that few ever get up to that. This is a dysfunctional dating pattern. Let's go to the girl's dysfunctional. The girl in dating will start out with an emotional oneness. There are very, very few girls that wake up in the morning and is looking for a guy and looking at him, oh, you're so physically attractive. I wake up and I just look at your physical. No, girls are not motivated by sight. Girls are motivated by emotions. So usually how a girl gets trapped in artificial relationship or counterfeit relationship will be through her emotions. A guy will trap her through her emotions. A guy will be trapped by a girl through physical. If the girl flirts a lot, throws her body out a lot, dresses in a certain way, she can trap him. For a girl, if a guy wants to trap a girl, it's by getting close to them and listening to them and trying to really get down to, what their heartbeat is. And let's talk about, the stresses you've had and how is it with your parents? They don't understand you like I understand you. How about your friends? They don't understand. You're all alone and I'm here and I'm on the same page and I feel what you feel. And I hurt like you hurt, and nobody understands you. They don't understand me either. Isn't that amazing? Neither one of us are understood, but we understand each other. Your burdens are my burdens. What you like, man, I like. I happen to like the same poems you like. And what guy is sitting around reading poetry most of the times? But it's amazing when you're motivated. It's amazing. Wow, that lyric. We can talk for hours about poetry, about the beautiful flowers, the trees in the forest, the stars. Let's look at the stars. Aren't they just wonderful? What guy does that? They do it when they want to get on an emotional oneness with a female. Because females are very drawn by somebody who cares about them emotionally. In fact, females like caring guys. Guys that care for other people, that are sensitive, that, are doing things for other people. One of the biggest things that attracted me to Brother Willoughby when I was in Bible school was that he was one of the most caring, sensitive guys on the campus. Anybody who had a problem always went to Steve. If their